It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. Success is going to bring us together. Together we can truly make America great again for all Americans.
Yep, that's the hope. Now the election is over. How do we bring people together? I hope people came together on your Thanksgiving. No one sat out. I had a chance to sit down, though, with the author of the book Build the Life You Want and the art and science of getting happier. Harvard professor, good friend of the show. He's also a columnist for The Atlantic, Arthur Brooks. Watch. Do you think we just go through a cycle of differences and we go through a cycle of getting together?
Polarization has been rising for a long time. And this really is being fomented by a political establishment in this country. It's being run by sort of the 5% margins, bullies at the 5%. And they feed on our
way out right and way out left?
Way out right and way out left. But really what it is kind of not so far politically right and left. It's people who want us to fight. And so what happens is when you have a bully on the other side, you're afraid, and so you turn to the bully on your side. And that's when we get into this thing. See, the truth of the matter is that 90% of Americans don't hate each other. 93% of Americans say they hate how divided we become as a country. That's a big entrepreneurial opportunity. If Elon Musk saw a 93% market share that was actually unserved, he'd be like, it's the next $1 trillion. And that's how we need to start thinking.
See, what I don't understand, how could both things be true? How could you say that the fringes are running things,
right,
but the majority of the country don't want them to?
Yeah.
So why is this happening? Is because the shiny object on both ends?
So the reason that this is happening is because we have so much fear in politics today that we don't want the fear, we don't want the anger, we don't want the hatred, but the fear is driving us to the person on our side, sort of the dark character on our side that says, I will fight for you, is the way that this actually works. Now again, you might actually think that somebody who wins the election is good, is actually better for the country. But what we really want, notwithstanding all the stuff that happened in the election, what we really want is to come together as a country. That's what most Americans actually want. And that's the big opportunity going into the next cycle.
Do we have to learn how to lose, too?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to lose.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's completely absurd how politicians think. So, you know business, and you've been around business people your whole life, me too. And if you're going into a business deal and you're in business, you don't say, if I don't get 100%, I lost. You don't say, if I don't get 100%, I got 0%. That's how politicians are talking today. It's absurd. In business, you want the other side to win a little bit too so you can do business again. And that's old school politics.
I have a belief that if somebody at the top is demanding compromise and like a one-term president who doesn't want to be reelected or can't be reelected, that might be the opportunity to show people the way, and it begins to become bold.
I completely agree. The truth of the matter is that the President of the United States should say, my fundamental job is the pursuit of happiness. I'm going to get out of the way of people living with faith and their families getting back together, of real friendship, of actually being able to work.
Republicans would call you a rhino, right? And Democrats would call you a sellout.
Yeah,
you have to be willing to hear that.
But I wonder, I'm not running for president, but I bet if somebody came along and said, I'm going to bring America together again, I'm going to get a lot of stuff done we all agree with. If you don't agree with me, well, that's just too bad, because 93% of you actually want it. Take a shot. I'm not going to run for re-election. Let's do the good stuff, the hard stuff. Let's love each other and make progress.
All right, let's do that. Here's an excerpt from your book to talk about negativity. You say this: just as we shouldn't push away our negative feelings if we want to grow and solve our problems, we can help those we love by accepting their emotions, but we don't have to take on their unhappiness in the process. And that leads us to the next topic.
What's that?
Thanksgiving's here. You're going to sit down at a table with maybe for the first time in a long time, and you're going to have to put politics aside and talk about football, talk about people's lives. What do you say to people that feel so dug in and polarized that they don't want to talk to their family members?
That's a big problem. 1 in 6 Americans is not talking to family members today because of politics. That's catastrophic for American happiness. It's one of the biggest reasons that American happiness is in decline, because of that level of polarization. Don't be part of the problem. Don't make misery worse. Now, here's how to do it, by the way. I've seen focus group research that has Sanders voters and Trump voters that brings them together to talk about politics. There's 2 ways you can do it. Say, okay, hammer and tongs, go at it. Or you can say, let's have a 10-minute preliminary conversation first. Tell each other about your kids. And then when they do that, they use the part of the brain. They stimulate a neuropeptide in the brain called oxytocin when they talk about their loves in their lives. And when you see somebody who's experiencing love, you feel love as well. And you're doing it at the same time you start to love each other's kids a little bit, and you can't get to politics. You can't get to hatred.
Great advice. But how did this happen where I used to have this job at Fox, and people used to just hey, what do you do? How's work?
Right.
Now everyone's involved in politics. They didn't take a political science class, weren't attuned. When you were at AEI, that was what you did for a living.
Right.
I imagine you would go through a couple of days with people that weren't doing co-workers who wouldn't bring up whether you're conservative or Democrat.
Didn't know.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened was that it made its way like a colorless, odorless gas into every nook and cranny of America.
I mean, I'm happy with being on a news network, knowing that everyone's watching, but...
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's great to actually be able to have a voice and actually be a part of the solution to the problems if we can. But the truth is, politics is too important in our lives. Social media has largely done that. So people are looking at screens all day long, and they're looking at screens with news, too much news, and they're looking at social media, which is too much opinion all the time. If we want less politics in our lives, the first thing that we have to do is to train ourselves to put the technology away and have real-life conversations about things that are not political.
And
it starts
also,
with us.
Maybe you should be working on books instead of columns or postings, right? You should maybe go out of your way to grab a book. I always have to be in the middle of something long form.
Yeah.
It takes you out of the play-by-play.
Absolutely. Read about, think about, talk about things that actually aren't politics. Because the truth of the matter is that happiness is driven down inevitably by politics. You want more happiness? Get more love in your life, and that's not going to bring you to politics.
So out of all the books that you want people to read this Thanksgiving that you wrote or are a part of with Oprah or somebody else, what should we pick up, Arthur? Yeah,
so the book that I wrote with Oprah, it really is the point that we made is when you build the life you want, you're building your life on the basis of love. And that's what you should be focused on around the Thanksgiving table. Love for this great country, the greatest country in the world. Love for the Lord that brought us all our blessings, and love for the other people around the table.
And lastly, will Oprah get together with Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz? Because they're both pulling for Republicans while she votes for Democrats. That would be a good example.
She has love for so many people. I'm sure she would.
Arthur, I have that would probably be the next book you should pump out. Observe those three coming together, right?
Well, they're great people, and my guess is that they would have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner.
Arthur Brooks, always great to see you.
Thank you, Brian.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.